Hello and welcome to my show, Indus Cuisine, and I'm your chef, Basim Akhund. Today's recipe is all about Pakistani tradition. Today's recipe is known as Karahi chicken, or also known as chicken Karahi. This recipe has originated from the tribal regions of Pakistan, which is now known as Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, or the short form known as KPK. This recipe was discovered by a British civil servant in around the early 1800s, where the civil servant was traveling across the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa region, and he came across a recipe where meat was cooked in the fat of the animal with some tomatoes. This was the most basic version of the chicken Karahi, which is now cooked across Pakistan and especially enjoyed in Punjab. The recipe which is actually cooked in Punjab has a different take on chicken Karahi, and if you go to the KPK region or the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa region, also known as the tribal areas, they cook their meat with minimum ingredients and with more meat and fat. So today's recipe is the Punjabi version of chicken Karahi, and what are the ingredients, I'll let you know. But before that, this recipe has also been associated with the Mughal Empire, where these people were nomads. These people had a very strong culture of having meat in their diet, in their daily diet. So when they came to the regions of Pakistan and India, which was back in the day called the subcontinent, they were introduced to new things where they integrated spices such as cumin, such as ginger and garlic into their menu, and the royal kitchens came across with this new recipe, which is now cooked widely in Punjab. So today's recipe has around 8 to 10 ingredients. These ingredients are easily available in all the closest markets to your place, be it Pakistan or be it any other society you're from, or be it in any country you're from, because these ingredients are easily available on the Indian stores, and there are a lot of Indians and Pakistanis living across the globe. So you need some yogurt. If you don't have fresh yogurt, you can also use Greek yogurt, which is easily available in any store close to you. You need some butter, but usually we use white butter. If you have the other form of butter, you will be using the unsalted version of butter. Then you need a few green chilies, 1 onion. Usually Pakistan has red onions, but if you have a white onion, you can use that. Even white onion has a milder flavor as compared to the red onions, which are a bit stronger. Then you need some oil. Turmeric. Turmeric has healing properties, and as you know, across the world, people are focusing more on ingredients which actually have a good reputation towards healing your body naturally. So you can use this ingredient in your recipe, or also you can use it as something you can have in your breakfast with some milk, which Pakistanis usually take. Then you have to use some lemon, some garam masala. Garam masala is a mixture of 4 or 5 spices such as coriander powder, black pepper, star anise, cumin seeds. They grind them up and then they come up with the garam masala. Some salt, some red chili flakes, you need some fresh cumin, which is actually dried, and then you need some garlic and ginger. Apart from that, we're using 2 more vegetables. The first vegetable is tomatoes, because this recipe usually revolves around the existence of tomatoes, because chicken Karahi is never made without tomatoes. Then you need some coriander, which we'll sprinkle on the top in the end, and you need around 2 kgs of fresh chicken with bone. If you want to use organic chicken, which is called Desi chicken in our language, you can use that also. If you find any other chicken which is easily available, you can use that even. This recipe was usually made with mutton, lamb, but right now we will teach you how this recipe is made with chicken, because it is widely consumed with this meat in Pakistan. Okay, so first of all, you need a wok, and you have to bring it to heat. This is the traditional thing which is used in Pakistan to cook the Karahi, which is also known as chicken Karahi. Okay, so increase the heat. First you'll add some oil, around 3 tablespoons. Tilt the pan, coat it. What happens is this turns the pan into a non-stick pan or a non-stick wok. Heat it up, keep the flame a little low. What you need in the beginning are some pieces of garlic, some onion, and some ginger. So first of all, just take the root away Keep it on the side. Finally chop the onion. And keep the root on the side. Always try keeping your counters clean. You'll manage your recipe in a better way. Okay, the oil has come to heat. What you'll do is turn it around, bring the temperature down a bit, reduce the heat more, and now transfer the onions. You'll transfer the onions first. Why? Because you need to cook them to a level where they're soft but not brown. You just have to make them translucent. Add like a pinch of salt to bring out the moisture. Mix it up. I'll keep it on the side. Why? Because the pan is already hot, so I'll keep the flame going on a lighter level. Now what you need is, you need to have some finely sliced garlic. And now you have to toss this in the pan. Always try pressing the garlic down so that it doesn't stick to each other. Transfer it over here. Garlic has been usually used throughout the history, and it has healing properties also. And this ingredient was widely used by the Babylonians, by the Egyptians and the Grecian people back in the day. Move it. Is done. Keep it on the heat. Now you need some ginger. Use half of it right now and half of it later. This on the side. You need thin slices of ginger, as thin as possible. Always keep your eye on the wok, because you don't want the wok to start burning. Now transfer this into the wok, mix it a bit. And now you have to add some butter. I'll add some white butter into it and melt it up. Now what you need is, you need to start adding the chicken. You're adding chicken right now because the butter, which is the fat, will start frying the chicken up. Increase the heat to full. Keep the things on the side and start mixing it. Usually what I do is I start flipping it with both hands. Now it's coated with all the butter and all the oil properly. Take this on the side. You don't need it. Keep the station clean. And now what you need is some salt, around half a teaspoon. Spread it out properly. And add some cumin seeds, around 1.5 teaspoons. Mix it up. As you're seeing, I'm sauteing the meat. Reduce the heat now to medium. And what you need to do right now is add some tomatoes to it. I'll take 4 tomatoes, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Take the other tomato out and keep it on the side. Add the tomatoes in quarters. And start mixing it up. Increase the heat again. This is done. Reduce the heat a bit. And now what you need to do is add some red chilies. And some water, around half a cup. Mix it up properly. And now I'll give it a lid and let it cook for around 15 minutes. So now place the lid on it. Increase the heat to medium. You have to be very careful about the heat because you don't want to overcook it or oversweat the chicken, because if you overcook the chicken it becomes really tough, and once the chicken is really tough it becomes really chewy, and once it's chewy you lose the flavor altogether. You need to let the chicken cook for around 10 to 12 minutes, and once the chicken is done cooking you will reduce the heat and add all the other things which are necessary for this recipe. But I'll let you know what to add, when to add after this short break. Keep watching Indus Cuisine. Welcome back. You're watching Indus Cuisine and I'm your chef Basim Akhund. So during the break we kept the chicken on medium heat and I just increased the heat to full, and as you can see the chicken is almost ready. The water we added has evaporated. Now what you need to do is take a spoon, and wherever you see the tomatoes, they're really soft. See, they've almost vanished, dissolved. So just like kind of beat it a bit inside, keeping the chicken safe, do not break the chicken. And now mix it. This is done. What you need to do now is add some spices. First of all, you need some green chilies. I'll add 2 because they're like bigger in size. I'll just slit them into half and throw it in the wok. Add it here, spread it out. Then add some turmeric. And now what you need to do is add some yogurt to it. But before that, mix it. Always scoop it from beneath and flip it. What will happen is the chicken won't break. This is done. Now transfer the yogurt. Try adding the yogurt on the side. And this is done. Now you need to give it another 5 to 6 minutes on high heat. Slowly and gradually start mixing the yogurt like this. Don't be in a hurry or you'll start breaking the chicken. Mix it. And spread it out a bit, spread the chicken out a bit. Give it a lid and let it cook for around 5 to 6 minutes on medium heat so that the yogurt, the water in the yogurt, the natural water in the yogurt dries out and it gets nicely creamy. Now what you need to do is keep it on medium heat so that the yogurt dries out for another 5 to 6 minutes. What I'll do is I'll shift the wok to another stove, keep it on medium heat over here, and I'll use this stove to make a nice yogurt dip, a traditional yogurt dip used in Pakistan in mostly all the houses over here. So first what we'll do is we'll need some white butter. We'll need some coriander, which I'll use later. You need some fresh yogurt. You need some cumin over here and around 1 green chili with some salt. Whatever you don't need, switch it on the side. And start cooking. So this recipe, I'll be tempering the cumin in the butter and then I'll integrate it with the yogurt and then I'll add some fresh herb, which is coriander or cilantro over here. So need a fresh pan. First of all, keep it over here, increase the heat. When the pan comes to heat, I'll add the butter into it. Firstly, what you need to do is finely slice the green chilies, possibly paper thin. Keep this on the side, switch it over here. The pan has come to heat, it's almost hot. Add the butter. Keep this on the side. Now what you need to do is take some cumin. Now you will be thinking, why is he putting the cumin on the board? I'll be chopping the cumin. Why am I chopping the cumin? I'll let you know. When the knife goes through the cumin and it hits the butter, it releases more flavor. You don't need to finely chop it, just roughly do this and then add it to the butter. Tilt it. Give it like 30 seconds, not more. Add some salt, around a pinch. Now add the green chilies in it. Reduce the heat. Now, what you need to do is add it to the yogurt. But first of all, switch it off, switch the stove off. You need some coriander. You wrap it up like this. Make a small ball and finely chop it. How can you increase the shelf life of coriander? Chop the coriander's roots from the bottom, take a cold jug of water or a glass of water depending on the quantity of coriander you have, dip it in like a flower, keep it in the fridge and you'll see up till 1 week that coriander will stay fresh and it won't go bad. Now what you need to do is transfer this into this, take a fresh fork and slowly and gradually add this and mix it. Mix it properly so that the butter integrates with the yogurt in the best possible way. Now, as you can see, the yogurt is mixing in it properly. Now add the coriander whenever you add butter to yogurt, it brings out better flavor of the ingredients. And as we all know, fat gives you the satisfaction of food like none other. Okay, this is done. I'm going to take this on the side and we'll start dishing out now. So chicken karahi is ready. I had to clean the whole counter out because remember one thing, cleanliness is very important. Why? Because when you're in culinary school or when you're actually cooking in a master chef restaurant's kitchen or a hotel's kitchen, they teach you about one thing known as cross-contamination. What is cross-contamination? Usually when you eat out in a very lavish restaurant, but when you come home, you have an upset stomach or an upset tummy and you're thinking the food was clean, but what went wrong? Cross-contamination was the thing that went wrong. What usually happens is when you don't clean out your counters or when you leave out something which is rotting on the tabletop, for example, raw chicken or sometimes vegetables or something, what happens is the bacteria transfers into the cooked food. It's not necessary that thing needs to touch your food. It's in the air. So try cleaning out your counters and then start, dishing it out. So this is ready. What I'll do is I'll keep it over here. I'll let it rest over here. All right. I'll dish it out in this traditional pot. As you can see, the butter and the oil have split over here. This is the identity of the ingredients being properly cooked, because as we say in our Pakistani cuisine, once the oil comes on top, the food is ready to eat. This is done. Keep it on the side. Now the yogurt. This recipe is usually enjoyed with some fresh flatbread or naan bread, or if you want some rice. I'll transfer the yogurt over here, which looks completely delicious. Keep this on the side. Take a piece of lemon and squeeze it on top, just to add some kick to the recipe. Today's recipe is ready. I hope you liked today's recipe. I'll come up with another new recipe from the Pakistani kitchens on Indus Cuisine in the next episode. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.